So yes to go. So good evening, everybody. One more time. Thank you all for joining this wonderful evening. This is 100 Days, 100 Speakers. Every Saturday, we bring successful entrepreneurs from around the world. And this is our fourth entrepreneurs coming from different part of the world and talking about their stories. How can you become successful entrepreneur? How can you start your own business? How to overcome the challenges in the business? How you start your own business? And if you're an entrepreneur, how do you face a difficult time? How do you really tackle the challenges? How do you tackle your employees? How do you really empower your employees to be in action? And how can you attract the investors? How can you hire the right people? How can you bring the best product in you? When you face the challenges, how can you bounce back? These are the some of the questions we asked in the previous sessions, and the speakers and the entrepreneurs, they answered this question in incredible way. So today we have an incredible and powerful entrepreneur who's going to share his stories. And he's someone who created a company called Corporate One, BPO. They are a provider complete customer solutions management service. And their centers are variety of mediums to interact with the customer base. Over 12, before the COVID, there was a 2,000 plus people, and now there was a 1,200 well-trained call center executives and 350 plus field professionals are working for a Corporate One. So now I would like to read his bio, and it is incredibly amazing. I really want to take you through that bio. He's a dynamic business savvy with 22 years of experience, adroit, vigilant, and detailed-oriented professional in steering the business development, sales, and marketing, and market expansion in field of service operation and logistics. He had a key account management and customer service operation across the telecom industry, and also education and banking and insurance and mutual fund, etc. And very innovative, result-oriented leader focused on achieving an exceptional result with a variable years after year success, achieving revenue and profit and business growth, and highly competitive environment and demand continuous improvement. And he started his career with the Hutchison's, then he went to International School of Hyderabad, then he again went back to Hutchison SR, then he worked for Vodafone, and he started an incredible company called Corporate One in 2010. He got various awards from all over the world. Best Performance CAF Compliance in Nationality #2, Prepaid Verification in 2006. And he awarded Process Champion for setting back-end process post-launch for Hutch in 2003. And awarded the Best Employee for achieving target and maintaining efficiency in the years of 2000. Then awarded Best Employee for the month in Hutchison Max Telecom in year 1999. And then in 2006, he awarded National Champion ECS and Bomb Promotions, and awarded Mega Star of the Quarter and Year and Migration of Warehouse Document. Then awarded Global Hero Award by Benchmarking Marking CF Compliance by Vodafone. And during this, his stint at Corpon has been awarded Best BPO by Dun and Bradstreet. Ladies and gentlemen, very enthusiastic and MBA by marketing professional. And I would like to introduce this incredible human being to this conversation. Durga Prasad, over to you. Durga, you need to unmute. Yeah, over to you, sir.
Hi, good evening. Am I audible?
Absolutely, loud and clear.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Faisal, and for inviting me, and my dear friend Nidhi, who has not given much time, to prepare. But I kind of got used to the speaker meets, once we got into this COVID. So, I am also a Rotary member, so I keep conducting speaker meets, and I also participate in that. So I will not make it a boring session, I promise you, because it is my journey as an employee to an entrepreneur. So let me start, by starting with, I was not an employee by design. It was by an accident. So way back when I was in my graduation, I think it is 1999, when I was doing my final year, I was enjoying a lavish life, where my father was in Middle East, and then, we had that pocket money, and then, studied in the best of the best school, college and schools. And, like everybody go through tough times, my tough time started, when I was in final year, when my dad met with an accident. So, being, Indian families, typically the entire load, drops down on the son because he has to take care of his family. So that is how, by accident, I had to go and then search for a job because, my dad met with a major accident in Saudi, and then he was hospitalized. And in about 2 months, we lost him, and then we had to spend a lot of money on that. So that's about a sad story, which most of us will be having in a different way. Like I also carry one. Okay. So now coming to this, then I didn't know how to start because, I was enjoying my days, good old days where parents were never bothered to disturb with the mobile industry, because once you step out of the house, you come back in the evening. So today it is not the case, where you have to be always on the phone and you get disturbed by your parents, come back home, all those things. So I went around about 10 offices, attending interviews, and I was rejected, left, right, center, because I didn't know how to speak, and then I didn't know what to talk, and then and I consulted many of my friends. Why am I not getting a job? So finally there was a small classified ad. So I kind of took that ad and then went for an interview. The company is called Hutchison Max Telecom, which is pagers. So the job was only to take pager messages and then send it across. Okay, so I was there and about 150 people, 9 hours I waited, and finally I got through. So I was so excited, but they told me that this job is only for a part-time, that too you should work in the night, because those days women were not allowed to work in the nights in 1999 and 2000. There was a labor law restriction and all. So I said, no problem, I'll do the job. And then 1999, I took up the job at 9 o'clock in the night till about 2 o'clock is my shift. The best part was my salary was, something which I never imagined. It was 900 rupees. So, but 900 rupees really made a lot of difference for us because we were going through tough times with our family life. So that particular money I carried, and then it went on, and then I think almost struggled for about 2 months, and the performance was so good that I got into a full-time job, which again 900 moved to 3,500. So that's how my journey started, by an accident. So from there, I think, I kind of started moving on to companies. Then I moved to international school, and then I finally ended up at a company called Hutchison, where the mobile industry came in, and then I was the 10th employee there. And then my Hutch journey was definitely wonderful because, with these performances and everything, I was with Hutch and Vodafone, we call it of late, about 8 years I was there, and I kind of got 8 promotions. And then in my last year, where in 2010, I think I remember. So Vodafone introduced something called Global Hero Awards. So globally, like they pick up 5 best employees, not just in India, but globally Vodafone they pick up. So I was fortunate enough, that I got a chance, and then I was nominated, and then finally I was given a Global Hero Award. So I went to Mumbai, and then Managing Director Martin those days, has given me an award. And the Global Hero Award has a special thing where you need to go to London to take the award after a month. But when you get an award, you go and meet the MD, and then you spend the entire day with the management team. They will also allow you to do certain decisions, and they involve you in everything. So from 9 to 6, you are part of the management group. So that is something which Vodafone as a culture, I think, to motivate employees have done that. So I was very, very fortunate to do that. So, I was so excited, and then we had a good time. And then I kind of sat in the flight, and then suddenly something triggered me, Then I said, what am I doing in my life? You go perform, you get into appraisal. If your boss is good enough, he will give you a good rating. And if your boss is not so good enough, or something goes wrong, your appraisal is gone. The entire, 1 year of your hard work is completely gone. So these are multiple things, though I was doing a good job, struck me. So then I came back, and then I sat with my wife, and then I said, I want to quit. She was like, what is wrong with you? You are head of customer service. You started as an executive and then moved into customer service head. And why do you want to quit? Are you not happy with the salary? I said, no, I'm happy with the salary. I'm happy with the company. I'm happy with everything what I've got, but I'm not happy with something which is bothering that I can do a lot. I want to do a lot for people. I want to do a lot individually for myself, not something to do with wealth or to earn something, because Vodafone pays definitely a good amount of money for any of the employees, even if you are at an entry level. So I was at a functional head level, so I was earning good amount of money. So I sat with her, and then my wife told that, think about it. I said, okay, I'll think about it. And the next day morning over the coffee table, I thought about it and still I want to resign. And then she was like, I said, you need to support me for 6 months because I will be idle 6 months doing something. I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to start up my own business. She said, no problem, I'll support. Apparently, my wife, to give you a background, I forgot to introduce her. She is Asha, and she is a senior vice president with Motilal Oswal. And I have a daughter who is studying grade 8. So that's about my family and my mother. We are a very small family. So next day I went to Vodafone as usual, and then people started congratulating me, and then my poster was stuck to the entrance of the Vodafone reception. Wherever I go, my pictures were there. Everybody started congratulating, and then said, "You are a global hero. You are a benchmark." All that. So I went straight to my boss, and then I told boss I want to resign, and he was like, "Are you joking?" I said, "No, I'm serious." "What is wrong? What do you want?" I said, "I don't want anything. I just want to take a break and I want to resign." He asked me, "You want any promotion or you want to move to a circle?" I said, "No, I wanted to resign." So they didn't allow me. It was a tough time. So finally, my CEO spoke, and I told him that, "Sir, I want to do something very, very different from what I'm doing right now. I'm not liking the things what I'm doing right now, because I want to explore opportunities." So somehow I managed to escape from there, and then I came out, I got relieved, and then started a small company which is to do consulting with about multiple companies. Like I used to be a process consultant, I used to be a trainer, and I tied up with about three companies. I was doing a good job, but suddenly the payment was something really bothering, because when you're a consultant, the money comes a little later, wherein you got used to this 25th kind of a salary cycle, where everything comes and then you enjoy your money, all those things. But when I took up this consultant job, I was paid after 2 or 3 months, but I was not at all demotivated. I felt, okay, it's a good start. After 4 months, I didn't get any chance because the consultant's contract got over. So what to do now? I thought I'll go back and then work in other companies. So these are the things which were bothering me left, right, center. I said I did a wrong job. And then again, I sat with my wife. My wife told, "No, relax, give some time." So luckily, the company where I am right now, and I'm a stakeholder, which is called Cohort-1 BPO, one of the founder, he's apparently my friend. So he invited me to do a consulting job. So I took up the consulting job, and then after a week's time, he said, "Why don't you come onto the board?" I said, I want to come onto the board with the condition there I get stake in the company, because there is no point in, again, joining as an employee. So we signed up a contract, and I remember it was in 2010, 2011, we signed up a contract, and then that is when my first entrepreneur journey started. And I have invested a bit of money, and then we got into shares, and then the company was given to me at an employee strength of about 300 odd people. So with my experience and expertise and relationships, what I carry in the market. So we took that into organization in the next 2 to 3 years. If I'm 2 to 3 years, we touched as high as 2,200 employees. So the satisfaction was immense, for a reason, because it is not just 2,200 employees, and then we created, offices, all these things, but there are about 2,200 families, which were depending on us. And then, I was having that particular satisfaction that I have done something, I've created employment to a lot of people. So that is when, we did a lot of government projects, and we were largely with the telecom companies. Like, you name a telecom, today you find only three telecom players. One is the Geos, Airtel, Vodafone, and Ideas, and BSNL as usual is there. But those days, if you look at in 2010-11, you had about a dozen of telecom players. You name, like, you have almost 10 to 11, I think, telecom players are there. We tied up with everybody, and then our business was growing. When the digital thing came in, and then documentation was digital, and the call centers were mostly IVR based, so the manpower started dropping and the businesses started dropping. So the 2,200 employees in about a year's time dropped to 200, and we had about almost 40 offices, and then about in 3 months time we had to shut down close to about 35 offices, and then we were left with only 5 offices. And I'm not a born entrepreneur, to think, how do I come out of this particular thing? Because I was an employee. If an organization shuts down, I straight away go and then join another company, because I'm least bothered about the company where it shuts down. But here it is my company, my employees, and then my assets and everything. So me and the management group sat together and then said, let us diversify our line of business. Let's not stick to a telecom. So we put in all our efforts. We hired marketing people, business development guys, went door to door, and then again our journey started, where we diversified with health, e-commerce, and we tied up with hospital industries, and then retail markets. So today, to give you a simple idea as to who are the clients who we are doing business with, we take the pride in saying that Vodafone definitely is one of our clients. Airtel is definitely one of our clients. We are with all the banks. We are with almost all the NBFCs. Hyderabad Metro, when they started, we were the first to crack the business of a call center. We are with 2 or 3 hospitals where do patient support counseling. We talk to many people. We are with retail industry. We are with real estate. So you name it, we are there. So that is where we have diversified. And again, from a 200, we again moved to 500 kind of an employee. So the journey was up and down, but we didn't give up. The confidence with my management and the people was so high. So in between, something got into my mind saying that we need to get investors, because you have to grow your company. So because whatever money we were earning, we were putting it in our investments into the infrastructure, and then we were not moving to the next level, because my aim was to take this company to 5,000 employees. Okay, that is my dream, and I definitely will try to achieve it, to be more positive on that. Today we are at 1,500 odd people. By end of this year we will be at 2,500. So that is something I have, but for that you need investors. So what I did is I started working on the investors, and luckily after about multiple presentations and due diligence and all, there's a company in the US, it's called SCI, came in and then started investing in us. So that is where our investors came in, because they knew that this company is really doing good. So the journey was good, and I was happy. I got my shares, and then enjoying my time, going on a holiday. The company gives us yearly one international holiday, paid holiday for family. So I thought, from an employee, I became an entrepreneur, because I don't need to report to anybody. It's me. I am the boss finally, so I call the shots. So like everybody who got affected, we also got affected, and the COVID came in. The moment the COVID came in, we didn't know what to do, because it is quite new for everything. Thanks to our government, March 21st, they said, from 22nd, we are going to shut the shops. So apparently the kind of people who work with us are definitely lower middle class and a little middle class people, because these people earn about 15,000 to 25,000 salary bracket guys. For them, this job is very important. From next day, it is shut down. Okay, TK, fine. We will manage it. And then we thought after 10 days, something will happen. 15 days, something will happen. That lockdown started extending. And then in between, our clients started writing mails saying that we are going to stop the business because there is no business happening. So the revenues are affecting. So they cut down the business. So our profits, which were going like this, started, coming down. So that time, what is that, we can do, because we need to retain, the talent. We could have done a simple job saying that, okay, client pays, I will pay, client doesn't pay, I don't pay. But there are about 100 people who were more working with us from the past 7-8 years, and then they have given everything to us. So we have taken care of all those 100 odd employees, by paying them. Though there was tough times with regard to revenue, we have paid them. So the COVID lockdown is over, and again we came back, and then again we started going, and then our businesses improved because financial market, banking, the doors were open because people had to pay their credit cards, people had to pay their loans because their EMIs was given a leverage of 3 to 4 months, and then suddenly money was something important, and banks started funding. So when banks starts funding, I get an opportunity to create call center more, because you need to collect that particular money in one of my verticals. So we started adding, in about 3 months time, we added about 600-700 people, and then we were doing good. And again, things settled down. We opened up an office, and then we launched it, and then fantastic. The first month we did celebrations, and COVID-2 started. That's the second wave hit us. The second wave this time hit us very, very badly. The first wave was relatively okay. So we had a very strong technology. So we moved everything, something called work from home model. Though we are not an IT company, but we had a chance. We had a technology team who said that, okay, let us develop something called work from office to work from home model. So the computer, the laptops, everything were dumped, and then the entire call center business of ours was on a simple Android phone. So my employee, if he has an Android phone and a headphone, it is as good as the call center at home. So that is a technology we have developed, and it's an in-house. And then all my 1,500 employees were working from home. Definitely the productivity, what we call the deliverables, are difficult because you have to manage 1,500 people. Here it is, in one building there will be 300 people, so 2 or 3 managers can work. But here all the 1,500 has to be monitored. Nevertheless, there were challenges. There were KPIs which got affected. There were penalties. All those things happened, but most importantly, that didn't affect us much. But what happened is this COVID-2 was so powerful that it started off in one of my building, and the entire building got affected. And then there was no other go, had to shut down. So we had lost a couple of very closed employees also in COVID-2, because the generation of COVID-2 effect was largely on the young between 20 to 44 years, if I may say, got affected. And it didn't leave me also and my wife. We also equally got affected with COVID, but we fought back, and then we came back. So the COVID-2 definitely ensured that we lost a lot of money. And thanks to the government, Telangana government, or you can take it as a central government currently. The second wave is over, and then doors are open right now. So we put a condition to all my 1,500 employees saying that your vaccination should be done. If not, your salary will not be paid. Or if you don't have money, we will pay the particular vaccination drive. And in about 2 to 3 months time, I think today we stand at about 95%. All my employees are vaccinated, except 5% of people who are still not vaccinated. But that thing, I think we can. So today, I think fearlessly every employee is coming and then working at my office, because the restrictions are not that much, but the distancing is still there. So the COVID-1 and the COVID-2 effect was really high, and now the doors are open. So again, my management and my investors started putting pressure, saying that, come on, now everything is over. Now what next we need to do? So, now again, what we did, we formed a big committee of a team, and then, now we started pitching in businesses, and then we started adding a lot of people, and lots of businesses are coming in. So that particular thing, which I can say is definitely a learning for me with regard to an entrepreneur, because the journey of an entrepreneur, I really, hats off to those biggies, we call it, whether it's an Ambani's or a Tata's, who handle such a huge business. And then for me, if you ask me, the business what I handle is not even a drop in an ocean. I can say you can cut the drop into 10 pieces also. I don't think I can match up to those people, but it is definitely challenging, interesting learning experience for me. And then what the kind of happiness what me, my wife, or my kid and my mother, today we carry here is that we are providing employment to people. We don't just look at wealth that anyway is there. If you don't have, if you're not hungry for money, then there is no point in working. So that is there. Okay, but what is the satisfaction is, I have given employment because I always had something in my thing that, I need to give back to the society. In my entrepreneur journey, I also got into Rotary. So most of the, wonderful people on the panel today, I think must be knowing about Rotary. Rotary is an international thing, but I am a Rotary Club member of Banjara Hills, which is in Hyderabad, and I was a secretary last year, and this year I became a youth services director, and I actively work, with youth services with a lot of students and college students, where I do training for them, how to find a job, how to handle, we also handle some kind of, demotivation, suicidal kind of tendencies, all these things, students, we focus them and then we give a training. Apart from that, one of the signature project what I'm handling along with my Rotary members, is we have a hospice which is called Sparsh, which is a center for palliative care. So what we do is we take care of the patients in the last stage of their days, like anybody who's affected with cancer. And government of Telangana was kind enough to give us a land of 1 acre, and then we built a wonderful hospital, which costed us about 16 crores, all through the CSR funds and the connect I have, which is getting inaugurated on 4th. So this is one part of my journey, what I do with Rotary, and the other is, my entrepreneur journey, which I do, which I'm really enjoying, because when I look back, where I started, for about 900 rupees by an accident, which I had to come there and I don't know where I would have ended up, if not that particular day. I would have, been in some, place like a typical mother who tells that, go and get a government job, okay, so that your job, your life is settled, okay. But I'm fortunate that, I didn't choose that path, and then I'm into this particular domain, and then helping the society. So that's about my journey, because there's lots, I can keep talking, which doesn't make you probably might get bored. So I would rather end my session here, and I would love to take questions if there are any. And then thank you once again, Faisal and Nidhi. It is really wonderful. And then thank you very much for helping me to recall my memories, and then because we all forget our lovely memories in this digital world. The digital world, why I say, is because my wife talks to me even though in the same house on WhatsApp chat, and then my daughter also does that. So at least now I could able to recall my father and my days and everything. Thank you very much for that.
All right. Thank you, Durga, for your wonderful, inspiring story. It's truly inspiring, like starting from that 950 rupees and, making a company of, 2,000 plus people and really touching, thousands of people around and thousands of companies. Like when you say, your own story, that is truly inspiring. I think, what I want to really ask, you were a global hero, you got the award, and you went to Mumbai to receive the award in, Mumbai, and you got that fire. Then you went to London, and, working there all day with the management team, it was truly inspiring for you. And that employee of the month given you a fire, and that created an opportunity to, think like, I want to quit the job and I want to start my own company. And you've been to process consultant, trainer, you started with the small companies, you've been really served in the telecom industry, then the business development as a sales consultant in health industry, e-commerce, hospital industry, banks, and the story of Hyderabad Metro and the real estate. And the COVID happened. How do you deal with COVID? It was phenomenal. And your incredible inspiring story of a Rotary contribution. Even I'm a Rotary member as well. I can relate to it. How you are really working to it. And at the end, you end with your CSR journey of building this incredible hospital going to inaugurate in another few days time. So truly inspirational. Now I would like to ask you a couple of questions which resonate to my life. There are one, before start, there are people in this room, either they are entrepreneurs or they want to quit the job and they want to start the company. Okay, so I'm going to stand for those people and I'm going to ask some questions which I faced in my life, which gives a lot of opportunity for these entrepreneurs to start their own business. Also the people who watch in the YouTube live right now. Sure. So the startup, there are people in this room, they are thinking, hey, I want to start my own business, but it is too comfort, and especially your level was you're in the peak of your success, but still you quit the job and you started your own company, and at least you had a support from your wife for a financial. But at the same time, there are many people in this room, they don't have that background or they don't have that support. Even me, my side, when I quit the job, my baby was 2 months old, and my wife was keep beating me and saying that, hey Faisal, you are crazy, you're quitting the job at the wrong time, at least let her, allow her to grow, baby. So I want to really hear from you. What would you recommend people, why you have to start your own business? And especially the people who have that fire, I want to start my own business, but at the same time it is too comfort, that 9 to 5 job and getting that monthly salary and save, and why should I quit the job and do this risk? So how do you answer this question? How do you really motivate them to quit the job, start on business?
That's a tough question, Faisal. But yet, I mean, I will answer to whatever best I can. I will not recommend people to quit the business because quit the job, because if job is also equally important. If everybody gets into business, then there will not be anybody to work. So that is something which we need to keep in mind. However, that fire of to become an entrepreneur or to the startups, if I give you, see, I was fortunate because when I thought about this, not many startups were there. Like right now, if you look at you name everywhere, you have startups. People, the young generation are coming up with lots and lots of ideas. And then if you look at the story of a Swiggy, a guy who started, a founder, is a young guy who started this Swiggy. So there definitely the competition is high. So my way of putting it across to the young entrepreneurs is that we need to take it up, and then we need to go and hit the right customer. If you're selling a product, for example, you develop an app, and then you really need to think about it, and then go and hit the right client. For example, I'll give you a very live example which made me successful in this, is because the company Cohort is not a reputed company like the biggies of the Satyam or a Tech Mahindra or a Wipros, to be more precise, the First Source. These are all the big BPOs in the country and globally. But if you look at Cohort, it doesn't fall under that particular cadre. However, I used to always go and then present my RFP, which is called proposals, and I used to be invited for bidding and all. So what is the success, where I used to compete with many of the biggies, is I used to do my homework well, then see what the customer really wants, and what those companies provide, which I can't provide, and what is that I can give the best. So this is something which I did a homework. And then there was one of the biggies, when we went and pitched in for a business, the thing which mattered is the cost. So there was an X amount of cost which I calculated. I said I can do this with the same kind of quality which the client wanted, and then I presented my case. And the confidence, the way I presented, and the confident way I have given them the comfort that giving me this business. Okay, you are in safe hands. At the same time, you're saving cost to your organization also. So that is where I used to go and then crack the business. So that is exactly what I want to tell the youngsters. They need to go and connect with the right person, and you need to present it in a way where you get that particular business. Because getting a business in India is tough and also easy. Tough is because sometimes you fail with your presentation, but sometimes you always have a backdoor entry. Okay, so some person and then you get it easy. But what matters is the delivery of after getting the business. The sustainability is something which is more and more important. Today, if you ask me, in my company, all my clients are not less than 5 years. So I have customers from 5 years, they are with me till about 14, 15 years, they're still with me. They don't leave because I exactly know how to take care of those customer relationships. Hope I have answered.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is, if people have that willingness to commit and figure it out and go extra mile to, tackle the opportunities, I think then the success is yours. That's what I got from your conversation. Okay, so the next question I would ask you, and as an entrepreneur, as a business leader, how many hours did you work during these early stages, and how many hours you work nowadays?
See, when I was an employee, when we, I can say with Hutch, when they launched their services, because I was young, the passion was still there in me, because in Hutch, I think I was definitely about a 24-year-old guy, 23, 24, which was my third job. So one day I worked almost 36 hours, when we were in the launch phase. My CEO told nobody is going home. He said, no bath, you please we will buy you a brush and a toothpaste, sit and then work, because we are launching day after. So the brand was so powerful, that Hutch. So we were there, sitting there, and I worked, I think, 36 hours. That is the maximum I worked. Okay, and then later on, I think in a corporate industry today, 10 hours is something which definitely we need to work. And 10 hours is the productive 10 hours, I mean to say. Like, if you look at realistically, if you ask me when I was working 10 hours, no. Once 8 hours, 7 hours, because we need to do other things also apart from that. But coming on to my entrepreneur journey, initial stages, I think I worked nothing less than 12 hours. We go up at 8:30 in the morning, because I need to understand what is a business entrepreneur, because most of the time I really don't know, salaries has to be paid. Okay, I always used to receive salary, but I don't know how to pay a salary. Okay, so we need to prepare statements, and then we need to kind of deliver the salaries on time, all these things. And then so I didn't understand. So in order to understand and not to let myself down, and also the employee satisfaction, I used to work 12 hours. 12 hours is something definitely. But today, if you ask me, I'm in a comfort zone. Definitely everything is in place. My team is in place. So I kind of work, to be honest with you all, I work about 6 hours.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Between the line, you said, productivity, that's one of the biggest challenge an employee and employer face right now, and a human face right now, because undistractable, one of the biggest challenge now, being focused, being concentrated. So I need answer from two perspectives. What do you do to get focus on for employees to bring the productivity at work? Especially, you said the people around 1,500 people work in a one complex with a couple of senior managers observing their KPI. It was pretty managed well. But when they went home, 1,500 people working from home, managing through Zoom. I don't know what channel you use managing these guys at home and making them to work and bring the productivity. So
Okay.
How do you really make them distractible at work? And the second level, what do you do to get focus at you being an employer?
See, I do the same thing like everybody does, but I don't know, I can share what I do specifically and how am I successful in retaining this crowd, because I work with the young crowd. Okay, my age group is between 22 years, you finish your grad, and then about 28, 29 years was a crowd which I manage. So there are 2-3 things which I have learned from my superiors when I was working, when I was working in Vodafone. The Vodafone culture was, even the CEO talks to an executive level person in the same way he talks to his immediate, reportee. Like, there is no differentiation. So in my organization, if you look at, I'm connected with all my 1,500 people, because I make sure I wish them on their birthday. a personalized greeting, like a birthday card. Today we are in a WhatsApp industry. So, I sent a greeting, of course, my secretary does that. She sends a greeting card to them saying that a happy birthday. And if they are married people, we send an anniversary card to those people. And then we celebrate all festivals, whether it is a Christmas or Ganesh or Diwali or a Ramzan. So these are the festivals together we celebrate, and then we ensure they participate. And the third most important thing what we do is we do a rewards and recognition program every month without break. Like, even though it was online, when the COVID affected, we make sure that the people who won the award for that particular month, in courier we sent those gifts to those people. So these are the three motivation factor, because I felt that human touch should always be there with these people. If you are not connected with this particular employees, they will leave you. So my connection with all these employees is so much that I talk to them, and then my down level team also does the same thing. So I go have lunch with them. There is no differentiation that, your boss should be in the cabin and somebody should come and serve. So I go share the tiffin with them. I go out, I attend their, family functions. And if there is a death in the family, we console them, we talk to them. Probably if there is a requirement, we do a financial assistance to those people. So the touch is always there. So this is what motivates, and that is where the productivity comes in picture. So if you take care of all these things, your productivity comes in picture. The work hour is 8 hours, but with the motivation, what we do to these people, they work 10 hours. There are some employees who don't leave my office. There are some employees who are almost 100 employees are working with me from past 8 years. I tell them, please leave my company. You have better opportunities outside. They're not leaving us.
Oh, that
You're on
is,
mute. Yeah.
yeah, that's incredible. Incredible. Yeah. So, so that's pretty much good. So now, how do you generate new ideas to retain in the market? Because as far as I know, the industry of BPO is one of the toughest and challenging, especially in India, because there are a lot of professional companies, there are international companies. How do you really generate your ideas to retain the business? And what do you really recommend to the entrepreneurs here? How do you really make innovative, keep going to the tough time and challenging time?
See, the business dynamics keep changing. I'll give you a live example of most of the people we were using mobile phones. I go back to 2010, 2011. If you have to take a mobile connection, you go to the shop, write a form, fill the particular form, and then your number gets activated after about a day or probably 2 days time. So the document has to reach the office, and all these things used to happen. So that was an opportunity for me, where I tied up with the telecom companies, where almost 1,000 people were working, collecting the form, doing data entry, and then scanning the document, putting it in the warehouse. So suddenly, after 2 to 3 years when we were doing that business, everything was Aadhaar based. Overnight they said we accept Aadhaar. So almost I had to, I lost about 900 odd people because there are no jobs. That's a manual kind of an activity which we are doing. So we moved to Aadhaar, and then everybody lost jobs. So the business dynamics changed. So also if you look at a lot of calls used to come in my call center, and then I had a big team. And suddenly the technology came in, and then they started doing an IVR kind of a thing, where the human intervention is not there that much. Okay, so what we discovered is that with the changing dynamics in the digital market, we ventured into something called chat business, we ventured into something called door services, or we got into medical right now. So there's one area which medical, we all will fall sick definitely for something. So the medical industry will survive till we are alive. So that is something which we sat, and then we started going and then talking to multiple hospitals, because today most of the people come from across the world. Hyderabad has good hospitals like Mumbai has, or Kerala or Karnataka, everywhere. So we went and tied up, and then we said we are going to do patient support counseling for you people. We will design their health, and then if a diabetic patient is there, we remind him on their insulin part, and then we take care of their medicine bit. All this through the voice kind of a thing what we do. So that is one area we diversified, because we focused on health. The second part is when the telecom is dying, it's almost dying. So the telecom is dying, but we went and then we ventured into something called e-commerce, like the Amazon, Snapdeals, Swiggies, and everything is there. So that is where we moved to that particular sector, and then our business started growing from there. Because if I don't do that, somebody else will come and grab that particular opportunity. So these are the things which we should always be connected with the market. If you're not connected with the market, your business will definitely, you will lose a business. That is one thing. You can't relax and then say, I'm getting money every day and then this business is stable now. One fine day you will lose business. Definitely, you need to keep venturing. And then see, one thing I learned from my one of my colleague, and I can say our managing director, is that when you lose a business, I'm a very emotional guy. When I lost a business once, I was in tears, like, because 300 people lost, and I was sitting and then crying. I was like, what are you? You're not a youngster to cry. He said, no, boss. They're with 3 years with us, and then a lot of people are losing jobs. I can't do this. And I started crying. He only told one thing. You will lose business. Okay, definitely business will come, business will go. The only thing is you should ensure that if you need to keep adding business, it's like something will go, something will come in. Don't wait for something. So that is something which I have learned. So. All the youngsters, or people who want to become entrepreneurs or a startup kind of a guys, they need to be with the market. If they're not with the market, I don't think they can be entrepreneurs at all. They can go back and then start working. The company will take care of them.